Hey, boss. Hey, how are you today? It's LaShonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense, and we are going to talk about how to stop struggling when it comes to your online business so that you can work on a couple of strategic moves going into the new week, the new quarter, all the new year things. All the not so new year things that I want you to do. So, as we're getting started here, let me make sure that I share this live out because, of course, sharing is caring. That's what it's all about. Sharing this live real quick. You guys are actually hanging out with me as I head back home from Fort Lauderdale, hanging out with my mama this weekend. As I head back home from Fort Lauderdale, my second home to North Carolina. Yay! I just want to make sure that I put this on our Sister Sense page, number 1, and inside the group, number 2. I'm actually going to do 2 sessions today. Our first session is how to stop the struggle, number 1, and our second session is going to be how to break up with broke. Okay, we're going to do those 2 sessions today. Yay. As I'm getting started, definitely feel free to let me know who you are and where you are in this beautiful world to get today. And I always love to say, if you're catching me on the replay side, you can always drop into the comment box, hashtag replays rock. Right, pretty minute? Right, pretty minute? Pretty mini? All right, so let's dive into our session.
The recording has started.
There are a couple of things that I wanted to do when it comes to sharing recommendations from my business besties who strategically want to get better at building better as far as your online business is concerned. So we are going to focus on some starter steps that you can take to move forward in this process. And I wanted you to be able to have an opportunity. Hey, welcome. Hey, Monique. I see you in the virtual building. I wanted you to be able to have an opportunity to make the most of today when it comes to identifying your challenges, number 1, talking about your plans, number 2, and then going through an activity with me where we dig into your profit potential. Okay? So we're going to focus on your challenges, your plans, and your profit potential for this part of the conversation today. Okay? Now, I do not know if you have the Stop the Struggle, Grow Your Online Business Guide. Okay? If you have it, let me know, yes or no. If you do not have the guide, grab it right now. I'm going to tell you exactly where to go. Okay? You're going to go to sistersense.com/STS Pro. There you go. STS for Stop the Struggle. And where I want you to go. So you're going to download, you're going to make a copy of a Google Doc that I've created. So as we go through the different starter stop steps and recommendations I'm going to share in this session, you have a place to take notes, to make note of your questions, and definitely take advantage of the resources that I have put together for you. Okay? So whether you are hanging out with me live or on the replay side, just let me know. Just say got it when you go get it. Your Stop the Struggle, Grow Your Online Business guide for this webinar workshop experience. And the link again is Sister Sense, that's me, SISTASENSE.com/STS Grow, which stands for Stop the Struggle, Grow. Okay, I'll probably mention that a couple of times today, but I wanted to make sure that if you didn't have it, you knew where to grab it. Okay, So we've got a lot of things to talk about on our agenda. A couple of weeks ago, I hosted a series of 15-minute complimentary clarity call sessions for ladies in my circle who really wanted to get back on track and back to business. Now, as I'm sharing that with you, I do plan to host another set of complimentary 15-minute calls with me, okay? And that's going to come up next week. If that's something that you want to do, simply email me, lashonda@sistasense.com, or drop a message into the chat and say, hey, I want one of those 15-minute calls, okay? And I will send you the details, all right? But as I was doing those sessions, I was speaking to several women who said pretty much the same thing, but in different ways. LaShonda, I'm struggling. I need to make some money now. I need to figure out what kind of digital products I can sell and how I can get better at selling online. Many of them and creating products or even coaching and consulting, they're good at doing that stuff offline, but not so much online, right? And I love to have consultation sessions with you guys so we can talk one-on-one as far as what's going on with you, and then helping you get an initial starter step, like some strategies for you to intentionally move forward. And that's basically what we're going to focus on today, okay? So our two-part session is inspired by the consultations, the clarity calls that I did a few weeks ago to help y'all get back on track and grow. And I'm going to continue to work with you all in that capacity today. So first and foremost, I said, make sure that you go download your Stop the Struggle guide at sistasense.com/STS grow. That was number one. And then number two, let me know if you want to get access to one of those 10 to 15 minute complimentary clarity calls with me. The next set is going to be next week. You can either email lashonda@sistasense.com or drop a comment into the chat to let me know you're interested in that. All right. So those are a few things that I wanted you to know as far as housekeeping things. And when it comes to our agenda for today, stopping the struggle, breaking up with broke, and growing your business. In order to do that, we're going to talk about your challenges, your plans, and your profit potential so that basically you can work towards getting set up for success, Sister Sense style. All right, y'all, let's do it. The first part of this conversation, especially if you have your guide, your welcome guide, is to, or not welcome, but your webinar guide, is to first think about your challenges. Because at the end of the day, nobody knows better than you what you're going through when it comes to the struggle. And for a lot of people right now, especially given the economy and everything that's going on, the struggle is real. Okay, so y'all who are hanging out with me during the webinar, hey Adonia, hi Levon, awesome to see you guys here. As you're hanging out with me during this webinar, I want you to go to the section in your guide that says challenges, okay? Nothing changes if nothing changes. And if you fundamentally want some things to be different this year, I need you to get clear about where you're feeling the most challenged, okay? So I'm going to give you a couple of examples. When I was doing my consultations a couple of weeks ago, one of the lovely ladies that I spoke to, she said, you know what, LaShonda, I actually have a podcast with my daughter. There's a mommy-daughter team, right? And she said, you know what, I want to restart the podcast, but in doing so, I don't just want to do that audio. I want to make sure that we have something to sell. So one of her challenges was not just getting back on track with starting the podcast, and I think it was like a year or so since they paused it, but then actually having something to sell as part of that platform. How many of you struggle with that? You struggle with having products, either digital products, physical products, maybe virtual experiences. Like today I'm doing this webinar workshop with you guys. Maybe you have challenges putting together virtual experiences with your audience. The first part of our session today is to identify specifically where you are feeling challenged. Now, to be honest with you, podcasting is something that more than a few ladies checked in with me around. So one of my clients, she's in a part of my 1 year program. She said, LaShonda, I am so ready to launch my podcast, but same thing, different person, same thing. I need to get a few products together because I don't want to feel like I've got my podcast launched and I'm doing it in vain, right? Now, obviously, there's so many ways that you can monetize a podcast when it comes to, number one, you can do advertising. Number two, you can have a private podcast. And number three, similar to the ladies who checked in with me, strategically using your podcast platform to sell your own products and or services, right? So I want you to think about, and those of you who are hanging out with me today on the live side, I can't really see it because obviously you see me doing this thing right here. I can, check in with you guys to see, where do you find that you struggle as far as moving forward in your business right now? Okay. Could be getting back on track. One young lady said to me, LaShonda, I'm a coach, and she does financial support, right? She's like, I'm really good working with my clients and even getting clients offline, but this is not my world. Like the internet, all of this stuff is really a little bit intimidating for me. And it's just, she's not comfortable in that space, right? I want you to be able to figure out where your challenge lies. And that particular client, I believe she said to me, LaShonda, I purchased one or two of your templates, but she's not very quite confident in using the content or figuring out what to do with it. And again, nothing changes if nothing changes. We got to get clear about what's stopping you from moving forward. Okay. Could be confidence, could be time, right? It could be analysis paralysis. That's another thing that a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with. Analysis paralysis. What does that mean? You overanalyze everything to the point that you feel you're doing nothing because you're paralyzed by all of the things that you can do and or want to do, right? Analysis paralysis, number one. Going down the rabbit hole, number two. You find yourself going down the rabbit hole of either research, which is very common, or content creation. And you keep doing the research, and you're going deeper and deeper and deeper, but you never stop that to do the next thing. Or when it comes to content creation, maybe you find yourself wanting to create a course or a program or membership, right? And you're like, at first it was like, okay, I want to do this. But the more you do it, the more you map it out, the more you think about this, you're going down the rabbit hole and not quite getting to where you want to be. Could be another challenge for you. Again, the struggle is real for many. It could be that you're trying to pivot. Love that I see my girl Yvonne in the virtual building. And we're talking about all the amazing things that she's done with one target audience over the last couple of years and moving into a new, completely different group, right? You could be an expert in your industry, having done all the things that you've been doing for several years, but now you're here and you either want to start something new, or specifically when it comes to some of the clients that I'm working with now, you want to pivot, right? You want to go into still kind of building from your area of expertise, but working towards reaching a completely different target audience. So it almost feels like you're starting from scratch. Okay. Now we can do this all day. We're not, because there are other things that I want to talk to you about. However, in order for you to figure out what your next best move is going to be, baby, we have to start with this challenges conversation. Where do you find you are most challenged? Those of you who are hanging out with me through social media, could be YouTube, could be Facebook, all the things, feel free to comment and drop your comments into that section. Can't check it out now, right? But later on, when I'm kind of going back and seeing what you guys put in, I can communicate with you. Number one. Number two, friendly reminder, if you do want to schedule a 15-minute complimentary clarity call with me, email LaShonda@citizensense.com and or post your interest in that via the chat, okay? Our focus right now is just conversations around challenges. Now, I am going to look at the webinar just to see if you guys have posted any of your challenges into the chat for me to see. I'm going to do that like that real quick. But that's the first part of what I wanted us to do today, okay? Hi, Inger. Welcome. Reset. Yes. Definitely time for a reset. All right. Now, you're going to see inside of your Stop the Struggle, Grow Your Business guide, the first two sections are divided. You're going to see two tables that you can write in, okay? So the first one is for your challenges. And this, again, I want you to really think about what is making it hard for you to do what you need to do, okay? Now, granted, sometimes you don't know what you don't know, which is why you're here. And I can offer, some insight into things that may be blocking you. But more importantly than me, it's you being able to identify that. The second table is your plans. And as we think about your challenges, we're going to talk about strategically things that you should be doing to move forward, okay? Now, I have one of my newer acronyms. Y'all know I'm always making acronyms for you guys. And one of my newer acronyms, MORE, MORE. Now, I've been using that acronym for many years when it comes to social media content. MORE, Master Originality, Reach, and Engagement, right? This year, I've modified MORE to specifically talk about monetization when it comes to the MORE conversation on MORE, monetize your offers, revitalize your earnings. So my new Make More experience is around getting better at that. Because to be honest with you, a lot of people have great information, they have a ton of expertise, but they struggle when it comes to actually monetizing offers and revitalizing, breathing life into their earnings so they have something that is sustainable, right? So that you feel like, independent of a 9-to-5 job or independent of like 15 different side hustles, you've got at least a few income streams that are sustainable for you. That could be your challenge, okay? So making more, not just an acronym, but an experience. What I'm doing right now inside of the circle is consistently sharing those steps that you can take on a week-by-week, month-by-month basis to work on that particular challenge. And you can drop that into the chat if that's something you struggle with. MORE, MORE. Monetize your offers, revitalize your earnings, okay? So, as I say that, let's continue this conversation thinking about your challenges, but specifically working on your next step plan of action, okay? So what are the next steps that you need to take once you've identified a short list of things that might potentially be challenging you in your online business right now, okay? I have the 5-point plan, the Setup for Success 5-point plan, okay? And I'm going to walk you through it now. And I want you to identify within that plan things that maybe you need to be focused on. This is what I call AIMS. Am I missing something? Okay. When it comes to the 5-point plan, number one, we have solutions. At the end of the day, we pay for what? We pay for solutions. Why are you curious? Why are you popping in, listening to me or watching me right now? You want a solution. So first thing I said was, where are your problems, right? You tell me what your problems are. I give you a solution. You go, oh my God, LaShonda, that's the perfect fit. There you go, right? Where's the checkout? How do I pay? Okay. You people to see the value and investing in what you do, creating very specific solutions to their problems, baby. That's the key, right? So let's talk about it. Make a short list, because by the way, there's so many cool tables inside of your starter guide. There is a profit potential table where you can make a list of 2 types of offers. Number 1, your assets. And those are going to be things that you already have. They're done. Digital products, physical products, services. They are done, baby, and ready to be purchased. Okay? The other part of the conversation is your potential, your profit potential. Those are things that you can work on, that you want to work on, but they're not ready yet. Okay? So I want you to think about, when it comes to the planning conversation, as I go through these 5 core parts of the success plan with you, I want you to think about the assets you have versus the potential profit projects that you want to work on, especially when it comes to new month, new quarter, new year. Okay? Now, apologies, because like I said, I'm en route from Florida, my second home, going back to North Carolina. So my focus is the road, y'all, but my focus is you too. So I may not be able to see what you guys are seeing, I'm saying in the chat, or those of you listening via the webinar, but just check in with me and I will go back to those things once I get back home. I'll go back to those things. And of course, you can always directly email me privately, LaShonda@SistaSense.com. Those of you who are on the webinar, at any time, you can unmute yourself and talk to me as well. If you want to do that, I can hear you. I just can't necessarily read, the chat messages at the moment. But okay. So make sure that you have your guide. Make sure that you have your webinar workshop guide for the struggle. Stop the struggle, grow your business, because the things that I want you to be able to do as we talk today are inside of that guide. Okay? Your section on your challenges, your section on your plan, your sections on your profit potential and listing out your assets, those are inside the Stop the Struggle, Grow Your Business guide at SistaSense.com/STS Grow, which stands for Stop the Struggle, Grow guide. Okay. All right. So the first thing I said when it comes to your success plan, number 1 is solutions. Do you have or do you need to create solutions for your audience? What's done that you can define as an asset versus what do you need to create, publish, record, if it's a digital product, produce on some level. Okay. I want you to think about that now. So when it comes to solutions, there are different types of things that you can create. One of the things that I'm focused on right now with my audience is books, specifically mini books, and being able to share a particular method or system with your audience, teach them something in a book, a signature book that is your thing. Okay. So one of the first signature books that I created was called Position to Profit. And that I did maybe 10 plus years ago, right? Where I'm teaching people, okay, this is my blueprint. This is how I work towards positioning to profit. Another one that I created several years ago was my LPP system to sales. So if you have a particular way of doing things, so I see my girl Adonia is in the building. Love it, love it. We were talking about that, right? You know that this time of your life, you feel better and healthier than you did before. And you want to be able to say the 40 plus, the 50 plus woman, this is how you can be fit, fabulous, and all the things. What are your secrets? What is your system? Being able to share your solutions in a book is one solid solution. Number 1, look, some people like to read it. Some people like for other people to do it for them. I'm a web and graphics designer. So one of my solutions is offering my services, right? So think about that. Are you going to give people digital or print products, courses, books, things of that nature? I do have some. Somebody's talking to me. The system is talking to me. I don't know where she's talking to me from. Hold on a second. Is it coming from the iPad? It could be. I think the iPad. All of these things are talking to me. Y'all, I'm like a techie girl, but like I'm an old school techie girl. Like this car is talking to me. The iPad is talking to me. Sometimes the phone is talking to me. I was teaching my mom how to use Siri last night. I was like, look, I don't use Siri. So she came to me and was like, LaShonda, show me how to put Siri on my phone. I looked at Christopher. I was like, show her how to put Siri. Show her how to put Siri on her phone. Okay, but that's a whole other story for another day, baby. Let's keep talking about the profit, the productivity, the money, right? So working on creating a book solution or offering people your services, your coaching, what are your solutions? Okay, that's number one. But a big part of the solutions conversation that I want to have with you is being ready for revenue. Because a lot of y'all say you're ready, but you ain't ready. I always say, all right, is the product done? Folks be like, yeah, it's done. I'll be like, okay, so where's the web page? Oh, you mean no. There's no page to go. No, but I mean, it's no. It's not done when you got the parts, but you don't got the page, okay? So what you're gonna find inside of your Stop the Struggle guide is literally there's a table, the Ready for Revenue Profit Potential tables, right? Where there are 3 things I want you to be able to identify. Obviously the name of your product, but the landing page, and also I want you to be able to identify the sales page. Now, those of you watching the webinar, I can actually, those of you watching on the replay side, not so much. But those of you watching the Stop the Struggle webinar, okay, you're gonna see, you see these tables? These are in here for you to use the table and add columns and rows as needed, okay? If you are ready to offer people your solutions, then I want you to be able to put in the name of the product. If you have like a freebie, like a freebie incentive, that would be that landing page for them to go to, versus if you have a sales page where they can actually purchase your solution, okay? And you're gonna see there's an example there, the Stay Paid example, where you can go to the landing page and get a guide for free, and then also the sales page to purchase the product. Now, there's also the download link. That's what's happening. I'm activating that thing. That's why the audio keeps coming up. There's also the download link. What does that mean? For any product, especially your digital stuff, you need to have a link for them to go get it, right? If it's a course, if it's an ebook, if it's an audio, right? If it's a template, the download link is where they go to get the thing, versus the landing page, if you want to give them a free version, versus the sales page, which is where they pay for the paid version, okay? Those are the 3 very important links that you need. And all of that you can see inside of your tables that I've created for you inside the Stop the Struggle guide for this webinar workshop for today, okay? If you're good, say good. Whether you're live or on the replay side, whether you're live streaming or on the webinar, if you're good, say good. I need you to understand the fundamentals of nothing changes if nothing changes. And some of this stuff is so straightforward, but to be honest with you, some of y'all ain't done this yet. The basic fundamental parts. Either you haven't done it for you at all or for your existing project. Because some of you have things, but you're pivoting into a different direction. So you may need to do the same things you did before, but more now that you're looking to monetize new offers, revitalize your earnings from a different perspective. MORE, monetize offers, revitalize earnings. Okay? All right, let's keep going. Outside of working on solutions, right? And you got to get clear about how you're going to help people. You need to also work on several other components of your business. And I'm going to give it to you in no particular order. Number 1, you need to get better at systems. Systems save yourself time, energy, and money. You have to have systems that work for you and systems that work for your customers too. So content creation is a great example of that, right? My mom, I just called her. I was like, Mom, where's the orange juice? Like, she packed all of my food bags and everything in the back of the car. We've got like the LaShonda's going back to North Carolina system down. Like, Chris does the car, Mom does the food, I do the last minute little things that are everywhere. Like, I'm kind of like the foreman. So it's like, you do this. We got our system down, right? And so she was like, I saw you do a video in the car. This girl is crazy. I was like, I'm focused on what I'm doing. But I'm so used to creating content. I have, this thing. It's not a tripod, but this thing for the iPhone that's right here. I'm doing my webinar, and my mini-me has my iPad. It's somewhere on this side of me, on the right side of me. It's sitting on his lap. I'm not doing anything. You guys can see the iPad. I can say, go to the next screen, and he'll hit next, right? And I'm good, right? But I've created a system where literally I'm hanging out with y'all on the 9-5. I'm doing streaming on StreamYard. I'm doing the webinar on Start Meeting. I literally have like 3 devices around me, and baby, I'm good, okay? I'm good. I literally have about 7 hours of a drive left, because this is an 11-hour drive. And if you know, I'm just in the zone. It's important for me to share this with you because a lot of you struggle when it comes to marketing, creating digital products, content creation. Remember, first section of your document is called challenges. And the more we go through this training today, I need that list to be full. I need you to be clear around where you're getting stuck. Oh, LaShonda, you know what? I get stuck where I'm like, I want to do this thing, but then I get overwhelmed. Like, I want to create this digital product, but I don't know like how to put it together. Or, I get a template. I get your template. I go on Canva, and then all of a sudden I'm like, it doesn't look the way I want. Try as I try to make it look good, it don't look the way I want. Like, where is your struggle? Okay? Like, my eyes are on the road right now, but baby, you can see me on StreamYard. Y'all can see me on Facebook and YouTube. You guys can hear me on the webinar. And when I'm done, I go home. I can share this on all other platforms, right? Because I have a system in place that works for me. I also have tools, right? I remember when I started doing Periscope, I would put my phone on a shoebox to prop it up, right? So I could get it to work. I've got the tools around me that make it easier for me to be able to do these things and work with you. Keep my eyes on the road too. And not feel like I'm flustered, calm. I like to be in a relaxed setting. I like to be calm. And these are the kind of things that you need. You don't want to feel overwhelmed, flustered, confused. I was on the phone with one of my clients, Yolandi from the UK. We had a session a few days ago, and I was helping her work on designing a guide. She's in the fashion industry, okay? I was helping her work on designing a guide, and she was like, oh my God, LaShonda, this is why I need you, because I was trying to get this one. She had a circular frame. She was trying to drop her picture into it, but it wasn't working. And then on another page, she was like, okay, I want to put the content in here, but it don't look right. And then I was like, all right, put this here, put that here, put this. She was like, how do you do that? Right? Sometimes you need tools. You need resources. You need other people. You need a habit that you've created to make the process of producing and moving forward easier for you. If these are things that you do not have, I need you to identify your challenges and think about AIMS, what is missing. So we have the challenges section in your document, and we also have the planning section in your document as well. There are 5 parts of the 5-point plan. You got to get better at systems. You got to get better at your solutions that you want to deliver to your audience, okay? Now, I'm just talking about content creation solutions and productivity solutions. But another solution, to be honest with you, is customer acquisition. You have to get better at acquiring customers. Now, I remember one of the consultations that I had a few weeks ago. One of the young ladies that I spoke to, she said to me, LaShonda, I was watching you because you were doing a live stream. And I said, yes, I need that. And so she got on the consultation with me, right? And a lot of times you guys are like, well, how do you do this? What are you doing to drive traffic to you? What are you doing to get views, to get people? And honestly, I try to KISS, keep it seriously simple. I get very clear about a solution that I want to offer, and then I create content around that solution. So for me, I call that CAC marketing. CAC, content around content. Basically, me strategically creating free content that helps me promote my paid content. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the presentation slide real quick, by the way, because I don't need to be in that Google Doc. But you have to be specific. So let's talk about how when you see the second table in the webinar workshop guide for today, right? In the Stop the Struggle, Grow Your Business guide, it's free. It's a free Google Doc, sizzlesense.com/STS Grow, right? Free Google Doc. Make a copy of it. First part was challenges. The second part was your plan. Underneath plan, I said, okay, well, what are you going to do? Nothing changes if nothing changes. What are you going to do today? What are you going to do for the new week, the new month, the new quarter? How you make money, LaShonda? Well, I have a very specific solution that I'm offering right now. It's called Make More. Make More Monthly. Every single month, we talk about strategically how to make more content, make more offers, make more money. And that's where folks struggle. If I'm keeping it real, making more content, making more offers, and making more money. And when I talk about making offers, it's a twofold conversation. Making offers, like literally making an offer, something that you can produce and profit from, but then making an offer, like going up to people and say, hey, what you think about ... Like actually pitching, making offers, pitching versus production, right? These are the kind of things that you need to work on. This is where people struggle. They struggle to grow their business because they are not where they want to be when it comes to making the content, making the offers, making the money, right? Now, when I say get specific, if I know right now my focus is Make More. Make More is two things. Number one, it's a monthly program. Normally it's 97, but it's 27 because I just launched it. It's a launch period for me, right? So 27 for the first 27 people, 47 for the next 47 people, and then it goes to $97, right? Launch period. So I have a specific offer. I know that I'm going to share it with my audience, and there are several different strategies that I'm going to take. One strategy is this one, right? This is social media marketing. This is content creation, because simultaneously I'm on Facebook and YouTube, but I'm also creating a webinar that I can then download the recording and then share that with my audience, right? Also email marketing. This is a pop-up, by the way. I said, you know what? I want to teach you guys. I love the statement, a Sunday well spent brings a week full of content. And I have an email list. So why not say, hey guys, I'm going to do a pop-up today. If you're down, join me live or on the replay side. Something specific I am doing today. Those of you who have solutions, I want you to think about right now. You're like, girl, the struggle is real. Where is the struggle? If your struggle is around content creation, when are you going to create some content this week? If your struggle is around monetization, do you need to make an offer this week? Whether you are producing it or promoting it, what are you missing? Nothing changes if nothing changes. And for me, being proactive consistently helps me move the needle. A couple of weeks ago, I posted on TikTok and Instagram and LinkedIn and all my places. I call that social in 60, where I can take 60 seconds or under 60 minutes and post on social media platforms, right? And I posted something that to the effect it said, this week we're going to grow your business, write a book in 5 days. And I did the Write the Book Challenge, right? Now, I have an awesome entrepreneur who actually I'm going to say 4. Yeah, because I have 3 new business besties in my 1-year program, the Insider Circle. And I have 1 more person who is in the process of joining the program. And then I think once she joins, I'm pretty much done for membership this year, right? So everyone who joined up until that point, and then the 3 new amazing business besties who joined in the last couple of weeks, and then 1 more person. This person, how did she even know what was going on? Well, number 1, I went on TikTok and Instagram and LinkedIn, and I said, hey, I'm going to do a 5-day challenge. She joined the challenge. She worked on a book project. And then she said, you know what? You're doing books? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be doing books every month. We done 12 books in 12 months, the 12 books in 12 months project. She's like, I want to do that. How do I join? Right. So right now, she'll probably, like I said, she'll probably be one of the last people who signs up to my program. You are struggling, but your struggle is not something that cannot be removed. Your struggle is not something that is, what is it called? Insurmountable or unsurmountable. It can be resolved. So long as you get clear about action steps that you can take that go beyond research, because, whoa, God, a lot of us, we can research ourselves to death. Go beyond creating this part of the offer, creating this part of the offer, you're creating this one. You keep creating, but you ain't sell nothing yet, right? Go beyond the research, go beyond just constantly creating and never actually launching, right? Things that you can do that go beyond feeling bad that you can't find the time to do more social media, to do more content. But other than feeling bad about it, you're not doing anything about it, right? There are things that people do that keep them stuck. When I talk about moving forward, especially when it comes to using my simple system, one of the big keys for me is you got to get better at the following. And this doesn't apply to everybody, but it does apply to a good percentage of people, where you find yourself, you stop overthinking, overspending, and underperforming. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. A lot of people, they overspend, right? And they think, okay, I bought this course, I bought this book, I bought this program. Damn it, I should be a 6-figure-earner or a millionaire this year, right? And it don't work that way. Some people overspend, but they never quite do enough of the execution to move forward, right? Or they overthink and then find themselves exhausted because of all these things they're thinking about, and they're underperforming, right? Where is your challenge? I'm going to give you another challenge. And remember, I said to you a couple of minutes ago, this is in no way, shape, or form. Everything applies to everyone. And I'm doing this, but I'm not necessarily doing it in an order. So if you do have questions for me, feel free to pause me at any time, okay? But when it comes to the challenges that people face, overthinking, overspending, and underperforming, whoo, top of the list. Top of the list. And you find that nothing is happening, but the days are going by. Why? We left, because again, I'm going back home from North Carolina to Florida. We left officially at 8:30, right? And when I was planning, I said, okay, the goal is to be up and out at like 4 or 5 o'clock. And I always say 4 or 5 o'clock because the earlier I tell myself, I know I'm going to go out later, but if I tell myself later, I'm going to go out even later. Right. But I got to make sure that I'm doing this 11, 12-hour drive. I'm well rested. We have everything that we need. Kid is comfortable. The dog is comfortable. I'm comfortable. We good, right? Why am I telling you this story? One of the struggles that a lot of entrepreneurs have, and this could be you, is, I said these are ones that are at the top of the list, right? Some people choose low energy periods to do high energy work. Is that you? I got clients, they come to me, they go, girl, I'm struggling to do all this stuff. It's just like, I get so overwhelmed and I feel like I'm all over the place. I'm trying to fit in some time. So after I finish work and I do the stuff for the kids and the spouse and my manager and I'm gonna try to squeeze in some time. And then when you get in front of that computer, 10, 15 minutes later, your brain fog is real, you're fatigued, you fall asleep, all the things. Let me know, say me. If you find yourself using the lowest of energy time periods to do high energy work. I like to work in the mornings. I do my best clarity calls with clients in the mornings, right? I make myself available throughout the day, but I mean, that's what I'm like, bling, like that cup of Joe. I don't drink coffee, but like that cup of Joe kind of an energy, high energy time periods. You're beating yourself up in a corner because it's taking you a while to figure out something. You're frustrated because you're trying to use this tool or this software or this thing, and like 30 minutes into it, you're like, I'm gonna pull my hair out, right? Because you're not fresh. Low energy time periods to do high energy work, and then you mad at you or the tools or the tech, right? Things to consider. Now, you can also think about emergency time periods. The urgency of emergency. When you go, man, I need money like yesterday. And keeping it real, I always say startups don't pay up right away. Sometimes folks find themselves in a place where they are in a rush to create something, create anything to make money, and they need the urgency that doesn't create the best quality. That creates a space where you're not thinking correctly, you're not pricing offers correctly, you're not marketing correctly because you're desperate for revenue. Creating the right thing strategically that's going to work for you and your customers too. These are things that are hard for you to do when the struggle is real. Now, like I said, let me know where the struggle is real for you. Whether you choose to email me, voice message me, unmute yourself in the chat, or those of you who are on the webinar, those of you in the live stream, you can pop into the chat via the live as well. Because the first part of this conversation is really getting clear about where you struggle right now. And the clearer you are, the more laser focused you are on what you need to do, and the more self-aware you are as far as what exactly is challenging you, that's going to create the first new space you want to move into. We are very set in our ways. Whether we wanted to have those ways or not, we are very set in our ways. And if you don't understand that the power of the statement, nothing changes if nothing changes, this is not going to be the year for you. If you're here, but you're not serious about getting clear about where you keep doing the same things or you keep falling into the same experiences or cycles, if you're not ready to break, because break up with broke, by the way, is another conversation we're going to have today. Okay. My second live stream is going to be how to break up with broke. But if you're not clear on how to break the poverty broke cycle or break away from the things that are making it hard for you to do what you need to do, clear about the things that are challenging you, you're not going to be able to move forward. Number one. Number two, I gave you very specific things that I do on a day-by-day, week-by-week basis to drive traffic to my products and my business. Doing a live stream today, doing a free challenge, doing a webinar, sending out an email. These are all things that you hear all the time. And it's not that they're overly techie. Honestly, you're not doing it. Either you're not doing it or you're not doing it enough. And it's not to say that it's a magic bullet situation. It's not like I'm sitting here with like 100 people listening to me right now. But I always say, I'm not here for everybody. I'm here for the real bodies. And if you do this stuff consistently enough, and you're talking to 5, 10, 20, 30 people, you have
speed check reported ahead on I-95 North.
Speed check. I got cruise control on. Yes. You have things that you do consistently, they can work for you. So remember, I told you the 5. Getting better, we got to figure out in working on your plan, what you're going to do this week, this month, this quarter, right? This quarter versus new quarter, what's coming up? There are 5 self-publishing signups and subscriptions. Okay, I'm gonna say free to write it down. Self-publishing subscriptions and signups. It's funny because I paused for a second because the GPS was like, right? And I remember when I was just learning how to drive, and I was going to an event to go see Tyra Banks with one of my business besties, the lovely Larry. She invited me to go and see Tyra Banks and all this cool stuff. I said to her, we were just talking. I was like, man, I was on the highway and I was speeding. I got a ticket. She was like, girl, you need to use cruise control. I was like, what? What? I didn't know. I'm not a driver like that. And I didn't have, somebody to teach me when I was a kid how to drive. So she told me how to use cruise control. And it's like my best friend. Even better, these newfangled cars where I just automatically slow the car. Used to manually slowing it in my old Yaris, but all the new these things for me. But it's simple system that is cruise control, allow me to maintain my gas, allow me to not, because you on a highway for a couple of hours, sometimes you don't even feel when you go from like 70 to 80 to like 90, like, oh crap. There goes the popo, there goes the sheriff. But as simple as those things are, they're powerful and they go a long way, right? And those are the same things. This is the same thing I'm trying to say when it comes to your business. I'm not doing overly complicated things to sell my stuff. I am strategically working on, I gotta go to exit. It's taking me off of the 9-5 for a little bit. I'm strategically working on creating content, checking in with my audience. I don't do social media every day. I don't do big, lavish launches all the time, okay? But I've done this enough to know that there are things that you can do to consistently grow, so long as you keep it simple and you do the work. I think it was Maya Angelou that says, nothing works but work. If you ain't gonna do the work, nothing is going to change. I need you to know that, okay? So let's do this. Number one, because so far we've been talking about your challenges for the most part, but we've also been talking about your plans. And I want you to think about what exactly you plan to do within the, see, look at that. Hold up. Wait a minute. It doesn't want to stop for me. Give me a second, ladies.
This session is no longer being recorded.
My screen disappeared. But I do this so often, I literally can do it with my eyes closed.
The recording has started.
Okay. Death by research, that would be me. So you get it. The struggle when it comes to that. Okay. Let me get my screen back where I need it to be. All right, so we're talking about your plans. Solutions. Have you identified specific solutions that you are selling and or would like to sell? Number one, systems. We talked about saving yourself time, energy, and money. Identifying where you feel like you struggle the most in your business. Now, I do have a list of over 20 systems that business owners should consider. When it comes to this list, I'm not telling you need to make all 20 of them right now. I identify what you need to start up versus step up. So what does that mean? Maybe there are one or two systems that you can start up to help you move forward right now, or one or two that you have, but they need to be better. So stepping them up to optimize and improve them, that is where your focus needs to be. So when it comes to getting out of the struggle and growing your business, getting better at systems is key. If you want the list, check in. As I mentioned to you before, there is the best way to say it. I think the most prevalent recommendation that I can share with you is my Make More monthly series. If you're not a part of my annual program or my monthly program, I would say join Make More. Okay, so you have an opportunity to work on these things with me. And as part of Make More, you will get access to the different solutions and systems and other success recommendations that I want to share with you. Because I do have the Build Your Best Business Guide. And if you don't have it, you can grab it as part of the Make More monthly series. Like I said, that one is also a part of my 1-year program. But if you're not in that, Make More is a great monthly support resource if you need the support. Okay. So systems and solutions, self-publishing. This is a big one. If you check out Make More this month, we are working on planners. So as part of my community, I have been showing my business besties how to create 12-week planners and 30-day planners, both in digital and in print. Okay, so that you can have something that your audience can print out at home, or they can actually order physical copies of your planner, right? I know what it feels like when there's so many things that you want to do, you wish that they were all done like yesterday, okay? You ever feel that way? You're like, oh my gosh, I want to do this. If it was all done like yesterday,
Check reported ahead on I-95 North.
it would be so great. But that's not the way the world works. As opposed to regretting the fact that you haven't done as much as you would like to do, let's get you out of the struggle by working on giving yourself the gift of a year. When I talk about the gift of a year, I simply mean that you intentionally each month do a little bit. That's it. Do a little bit. And if you do a little bit, by the end of the year, to be clear, you will be closer to if you're not where you want to be, you're closer to where you want to be because you've chipped away at the elephantastic tasks that you want to do. Okay? Those larger than life things that you want to do. Self-publishing is, to me, one of the greatest gifts that we have as entrepreneurs, especially solopreneurs on a budget, because we can self-publish our own content and offer that to our audience. Some of you are service professionals and you're tired of having to work with people one-on-one, and you want to be able to replace doing services with offering products. Self-publish, right? Some of you are coaches and consultants, and again, same thing. You want to transition from one-to-one to one-to-many. You want to scale. Self-publishing, a great thing for you to do. Creating your own signature solutions, number one. Creating your own self-published content in which you share those signature solutions, number two, right? So those of you who are here out of curiosity, you could have been that especially those of you who've worked with me recently, the Write the Book Challenge, Make Minis. We talked about how to create digital products using my ABC method. books, C, there are a couple of C's, right? ABCs, like classes and courses and challenges. I'd love to know whether you're live or on the replay side. If there's something specific that you are working on self-publishing right now, I'd love to see that in the chat. Okay, again, whether you're live or on the replay side. Getting out of the struggle means that you are consistently, strategically working on different types of projects. Self-publishing projects, for me, is definitely a solid solution, right? So it could be that you're creating something new, going back to something you already created, whether you want to update it, expand it, something that's going to help you and help the people you wish to serve in some way. Now, remember, let's go back to your Stop the Struggle guide. First section of that guide is, where are your challenges? Number 1. I got to exit 33. And then outside of your challenges, what are your plans? Okay. I hate when it takes me off the 9-5 for an hour, but I got to do it. What are your plans? Now, when it comes to plans, I'm not a general girl. I like to be specific. So that's why we're going through the 5-point plan, the specific plan that I've created for you. The 5-point plan: number 1, solutions; number 2, systems; number 3, self-publishing. And that's what we're talking about right now. Either you need to get better at self-publishing or start something. Could be starting a new project or going back to an old project. I am on this for 26 months. This is a side note, but I'm always curious about why the GPS takes me off the 9-5 for like an hour. That puts me back on the 9-5. I don't know. I'm just kind of curious about that. It's a thing. It's a thing. Of all the different types of things that you could potentially create right now, I'm going to give you a short list, right, of a couple of type of self-publishing projects that I absolutely love. I said to you, signature solutions, where you're sharing your unique methodology with your audience. That's number 1. Number 2, outside of that, creating some sort of engaging experience, right? Challenges. We did last month mini challenges in the form of mini books. That's number 2. And then the next one that I can share with you as far as books are concerned are trackers. Like planners, to me, create a space where people can work on their habits and track their progress across any industry, across any area of expertise. Creating some sort of a planner, to me, is another thing that you should have in your self-published arsenal, right? Building your own list of digital assets is so key, which is why I wanted inside of your Stop the Struggle guide for you to have those sections in there to help you get clear, right? So remember, if you scroll a little bit down in your Stop the Struggle guide, you're going to see a section for you to put in your assets that you've produced. You want to start working on building that up. And then also your profit projects, things that you want to potentially produce in the future, okay? Now, there are so many different self-publishing projects that we're going to be working on as part of the Sister Sense Circle. And if you're not in the circle, Make More Monthly is a great opportunity for you to join us, right? Make More Monthly, right now, its official rate is $97. However, for right now, $27, because I just launched it, $27 for the first 27, then $47 for the next 47, and then it officially goes to $97. Okay, just letting you know. But if you're not already in my monthly program or even my annual program, you can literally, for $27 a month, have the opportunity to get some of the trainings that I've put together to support you. Okay, because I have levels. There are levels to this thing. But I want you to get into a level that's going to help you stop the struggle, break up with broke, and grow your business. So if the starter level, make more, can help you do that, that's the key. That's the key for me. So as we're talking specifically about self-publishing, and I'm going to check the chat as far as my webinar is concerned. Mini books, the 3 types that we're doing right now. I love creating books that showcase your systems and solutions, right? So that would be number 1. Another one is creating engaging activities like a challenge. We did 5-day challenges. That would be number 2. And outside of engaging challenges, helping people work through their processes, work through getting better at habits, a planner. Number 3. Those are the first 3 that we are focused on inside of my community. And I want you to be aware of what you have, or basically what you could potentially put together. Okay? Be mindful of that. All right, so systems, solutions, self-publishing. Then we got signups and subscriptions. What kind of offers should you be creating for your audience, right? OTO, if you don't know, now you know, is a one-time offer. OTO, one-time offer. Many times, you all are trying to sell one-time offers. Buy my book, buy my course, right? Buy my coaching call, right? It's an OTO. Subscription-based offers give you the opportunity to generate revenue consistently. That is going to help you with sustainability. Outside of the OTO acronym, feel free to write that down anywhere, okay? Another one that I want to share is MRR, monthly recurring revenue. How much is that for you? Monthly recurring revenue is revenue that you're bringing in based on different subscription offers that you've created. I believe that you should be bringing in at least $5,000 to $10,000 with monthly recurring revenue. Because guess what? You want to create the kind of solopreneur business that is sustainable, where you're not always chasing dollars. You're not always like, well, girl, you know, right now it's good, but you know, in a couple of months, things are going to get slow. You need sustainability. Do you know? Well, first of all, do you have MRR? Do you have monthly recurring revenue? But number 2, if you do have monthly recurring revenue, what is it? Are you bringing in on average at least 1,000, 2,000, 3,000? Like I said, solopreneurs, outside of new sales, 5,000 to 10,000, somewhere in there. Should be something that you're working towards. Now, I get it. Some of you are like, LaShonda, the struggle is real. And when I make some money, I'm going to come at you. But baby boo, if you do not know how to make money, you cannot just simply magically make it happen. Ooh, IKEA. Sometimes I stop. I'm not stopping today, but sometimes I stop at IKEA as I'm usually on our way to my mom. On our way into Florida, I stop at IKEA. But I'm going to keep moving. I'm not looking that way. I'm not. We're not spending money today, right? We talk about making money, not spending money. You got to create a space where you think about, how can I do this without driving myself crazy? And having some things that are going to work with you or work for you consistently through a simple subscription program is helpful, okay? So the Make More monthly, if you were to take a look at that, it's actually at SysSense.com/more monthly. That's a great example of a simple subscription program. Very simple. Every month, I'm going to share with you a digital product project so you can work on making digital products on a monthly basis. And then every month, I'm going to share with you sales, marketing and sales strategies, things that I do to make money so that you can work on those strategies too. It is a simple subscription program, right? Again, full retail rate, 97, launch rate, 27. There you go. Have you thought about, or are you currently trying to build at least one simple subscription program into your business? Now, it could be phase now, where you're working on it right now. Could be phase one, because you're new to whatever it is that you're trying to do. So it's a part of your phase one, or a phase two. Because some of you got things you need to do right now, and possibly building a subscription program isn't on your now list, but maybe it's on your later list. So it's going to be a phase two activity for you. Okay. Now, because there's so much that I want to cover with you all today, I don't want to go too deep into each of these parts, but I do want you to think about them, and I do have additional trainings to support you when it comes to each of these. So, solutions, systems, self-publishing, and we talked about with self-publishing 3 types of mini books that I recommend, and now we're talking about subscriptions. Do you have MRR, monthly revenue? Where are you? Like, how much revenue? I was talking to a client who, she was basically like, LaShonda, my revenue average is about 5,200, and I want to replace a good percentage of that with something else. Sometimes you're there. Sometimes you're either wanting to make more or you're wanting to replace income, but you don't know if you don't check. Now, some of y'all may go, is zero. Is zero. Now, that's not everybody. Some of y'all may feel like it's zero, but it's not, because it's as soon as money is coming in, it's going out, but you haven't really checked the numbers, right? And so that's something that I definitely encourage you to do, because if you're not, you don't know the exact numbers. Are you averaging 1,000, 2,000, 3,000? What are your averages? And your averages, by the way, just to be clear, are different from your MRR. MRR is monthly recurring revenue, people who are paying you on subscription, versus just on average how much you make through your different income streams. Okay, 2 different conversations, but both very important. And when it comes to subscriptions, there are different types of subscriptions you can create. A simple subscription is just one example. I'm a visual girl. Not only do I recommend, if you're not in my circle, joining up to the Make More program, especially now that you can get in for $27 as part of the launch. If you want to use that as a visual example of a simple subscription program, you can take a look at it by going to sistasense.com/more monthly. Okay, sistasense.com, that's me, sistasense.com/more monthly. All right, that's a great example. And then the last one, when it comes to plans, is signups. The last one when it comes to plans is signups. And there are 2 types of signups I need you to think about, okay? We got the NPP versus the LPP. NPP is no price point. So people signing up to get free stuff from you. NPP, no price point, number 1. LPP, low price point, number 2. I identify LPP to be things that are under $100. So for example, if you sign up to my Make More monthly at $27, that's an LPP offer. You getting people to sign up to stuff as subscribers or new customers is going to help you grow your business. You getting people to sign up to stuff either as new subscribers or new customers is going to help you grow your business. So remember, this conversation is about aims. Am I missing something? And it's about me trying to really impart upon you that nothing is going to change if nothing changes, right? So you got to get your solutions together. You got to get your systems together. You got to work on your self-publishing projects, right? You have to work on at least having one simple subscription program. getting better at signups, not just with freebie people, by the way, okay? Because a lot of folks, they focus only on getting people to sign up to their free stuff, and then they struggle because they're like, oh, girl, I'm broke. Because you have to know, by the way, how to turn browsers into buyers, how to get people from the free stuff to the paid stuff. But it's not just about getting free subscribers, paying customers that sign up to your LPP low price point products. Now, some of y'all already know this stuff. So this is not where getting an education on things that you already know, okay? It's not about what you know, it's about what you plan to do. I gave you a section inside of your Stop the Struggle guide that says, make note of your challenges, number one, make note of your action plan, number two. What do you plan to focus on when it comes to signups? Could be today, could be the new week, the new month, the new quarter. Are you producing and plan on dropping something you want to give away to people for free? Do you have a low ticket product that you want to sell? $7, $20, $47, so that you can get in new customers, new signups, new customers, LPP versus NPP. Strategically, new month, new week, new quarter, where do you need to be? What action steps are you going to take? Some of this stuff you're asking yourself. Some of this stuff I'm offering recommendations. And like I said, whether you choose to work with me one-on-one directly via calls, I do have the Make More mentorship program where you can get a series of one-on-one calls, and you and I are working together. Make more content, make more offers, make more money, right? Oh man, there is this beautiful bridge. It is so pretty. Can I take the video? I love to take video of this bridge when I get on it. It's not gonna let me do it because I'm on my webinar. Dog on it. Christopher, can you video the bridge? Are you awake? We're gonna pass the bridge. Do some video. Last time we were on the bridge, I did video, but it was late at night, so it's kind of dark. Thank you, sir. At least like 10 or 15 seconds of it would be great. I don't even know what this bridge is called. I just like it. It's a very interesting design. And then also, if you can pan to the right and the left and get the water as well. Over there is kind of cool. I'm sorry, y'all. I like the bridge. Okay, back to focus. So there are several things that you can do to strategically work on your signups, right? Whether you are, number one, going to create a freebie and give that to your audience. What kind of freebie, LaShonda? You can do a free guide, like a starter guide. You can do a free challenge, right? You can do a free webinar, right? I'm doing a webinar with you guys. I'm live stream today. You could do live stream. There's so many different. Now, some of you creating a freebie don't even need to create a freebie. You just need to proactively promote a freebie that you've already created. Who needs to do that? Raise hand, right? Proactively promote a freebie that you already created. It's funny because I've been sitting on this slide. Can you move it to the next slide, Christopher? The 5-point plan. Yeah, I should have moved it to the 5-point plan like, I don't know, 30 minutes ago. 30 minutes ago. That's something for you to consider. Create a freebie or proactively promote something you've already created, right? That's on the free lead magnet side. On the other side is paid offers. Either create one or proactively promote one, right? Make an offer. Remember, when I say make an offer, I mean either one of two things. You either pitch or you produce, right? Where you're like, hey, let me pitch you on something. You may not like the word pitch, promote, but be proactive about sharing something you already have available. That's making an offer. Let me make you an offer today, right? Yay. Or make one, literally create one. I have a guide. You may or may not have it. It's called Monday Morning Money, right? And, take Sunday to work on your content. Take Monday, drop an offer. Or if not Monday, prep an offer that you can drop on Thursday. A lot of people get paid on Thursday and Friday. You want to proactively grow your business, drop more offers on Thursday and Friday when people not sell, but when people are buying things, when they have more money in their bank accounts. I'm just keeping it real, right? I'm just keeping it real. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Now, those of you who are my clients, my business besties, you have an opportunity to work with me not just today, but pretty much every week, because we have trainings every week. Right now, we're doing the 1K Accelerator, creating a 1K offer over the course of 12 weeks. Those of you who join more monthly, you're going to get a new digital project every month. This month, we are creating 30-day planners. So that's another thing that we're working on together. What else is happening in the circle? The minis, creating mini digital products. This month, we're working on mini series. And last month, we were working on mini challenges. For me, give yourself the gift of consistency. If you're not working on these things enough, either you don't have enough or you're not doing enough to get better. That's the key. So we did the 5-point plan, right? And the last thing was signups. And when it comes to signups, thinking about not just promoting free stuff, but low price point offers as well. Making offers, whether you promote or you pitch. I think they're going to take me back on the 9-5 in a couple of minutes. What's the time? 1:21. I want to get gas at 2:30, and then my second live stream starts at 3. Okay. I'm going to wrap up in a second. All right, so I don't want to get out this lane. I have to turn soon. All right, so let's do a quick recap. We talked about your challenges. We talked about your plan, your profit potential. Okay. There are several documents, forgive me. There are several tables inside of your Stop the Struggle, Grow Your Business guide. The last two that I put in there for you, your revenue, ready for revenue, and your profit potential. You're going to list out your assets, the things that you have that are ready for sale. The key 3 links for each asset, outside of listing the name of the asset, is where to go download it, the landing page to get it for free or some version of it for free. We call those taste tester sample freebies. And then the sales page for your offers. You got to be strategic. You got to be intentional. If you're struggling with those things, you don't have offers that you've produced. It's a lot of cars right here. Ooh, it was a crash. You don't have offers that you've produced, or you don't know how to set up your sales pages, or I don't know what your challenges are. We talked about that a good percentage of today. Check in with me. Let me know you want to do a 15-minute call so we can talk about where you need support, right? Also, check in with me. Let me know what questions you have. If you're trying to figure this stuff out for yourself and you still haven't figured it out for yourself, maybe you need help. I'm just saying. Now it says 900. Am I going straight or am I getting off at the exit? 0 feet. Keep writing shit. So what I'm supposed to get off at this exit? It's going to tell me in a second. I hate when they have, it's under construction. So it doesn't say 9-5, but I had to get off. We're about to wrap up. Anywho, 300 feet. Get onto this. Over here is all kinds of construction. Come on. I know what happened. Y'all gonna have to pause and just kind of look in my face while I reroute and get back on track. Because right here is all kind of jacked up. How am I going to do this? I think I'm going to need to go that way. Forgive me, y'all. This section right here is really confusing the hell out of me. Is this the 9.5? This says 295. And 250 feet. Alright, go this way. This way. I am not good with reroutes. When they're good, I'm good. But when they got cones everywhere and 15 different signs, I get confused. All right. 0.3 miles. Outside of just kind of watching me fumble my way back onto the 95, hopefully you're taking this time to kind of think about what we've talked about thus far, because I'm pretty much about to wrap up. I'm just doing the last part of this conversation, and then I'm going to do another live and at 3:00 where we talk about the first 3 steps to break up with broke and strategically work on financial freedom. That's a big one. OMG, that's a big one for me. Yay, I think I'm back on the 9.5. Woo! Baby girl is not trying to get lost. I don't even know where I am. Savannah? Okay. 9.5 to Savannah. Last part, your profit potential. As I mentioned, inside of your guide, you will find a section on listing out your assets, the ones that you have versus the ones that you would like to produce. And I did share several recommendations with you as far as things that you can work on, whether you work on them with us in the community or work with me strategically, okay? Bikers are back. So I want to thank y'all so much for joining me. I can check the chat for the webinar just to kind of see if you guys have any questions or thoughts. 3 key things today: your challenges, number 1, your plans, number 2, your profit potential, number 3. Those were the 3 key conversations that I wanted to have with you, because it's all about moving forward. Now, when it comes to moving forwards, I said at the end of the day, okay, nothing changes if nothing changes. You've got to think about your plans, what you're going to do this day, today, this coming week, this coming month, this coming quarter, putting plans into action. I really try to focus on 5 specific core areas when it comes to plans: your solutions, systems, self-publishing, subscriptions, and signups. Because again, I just don't want to just talk to you. I want to give you practical solutions, things that you can realistically do to move forward. If you enjoyed this session, definitely let me know. Feel free to like, heart, all the things. Sharing is caring. Do that as well. privately, you can always email LaShonda@success.com. Those of you who have one-on-one time with me, if we need to do a reset call, it is time, right? If we need to get you back on track, it is time. And those of you who we are just chipping away at your projects, yay. That's what we got to do, right? Just stay connected, making sure that whether it's a Wednesday, a Monday, or a Friday, we are continually working on getting to your next best stew. All right. Last call, question, comments, updates. Let me check the chat. Number one. Then I'm going to take a little mini break and do my next session at 3 p.m. EST. I always like to screenshot your comments so I can come back to it later as well. All right, all good. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, take care. Mwah. Bye.